Alright, in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys one tip for every single style on Blue Lock Rivals. Before I start, I do want to mention I am doing a giveaway in my Discord server. If you guys want to check that out, join it below. It's ending in like a few hours from now. And whenever we reach 500 likes on this video, I'm going to be doing another giveaway. The very first style of the video is going to be Isagi, and he recently received a new ability called Fade Away. And this ability is honestly kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. Like, obviously, it is just your basic dribble ability. However, it is one of the best dribble abilities in the entire game. First off, you actually ragdoll your opponents so they're stunned for a bit longer. And secondly, it has range that's a lot higher than a lot of other abilities. So here, me and Ram are going to test Fade Away against size. Yo, I'm right here. Ram, try and use your dribble on me.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, like we can hear the ding 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 in his background, right? Like he's spamming it doesn't work. Fade Away, it can work from here. So Isagi has that very big advantage where you can like actually use this dribble ability from quite far. So I would definitely recommend abusing this, just because if somebody's guarding you and they know that you have your dribble ability, a lot of the times they're going to be backing up from you. So just having that as a resource where you can shoot. Alright, now we're on to Chigiri, and the next tip with Chigiri is honestly pretty... Alright, so Ram's gonna try and self-pass dribble away from me. He's on a laptop, so he can't do it that well. But essentially with Chigiri, I can literally just run at him and intercept the ball while he's self-passing. I'll play a clip of me actually doing this in a real match so you guys can get a better idea of it, because, yeah. Now we're on to Otoya, and Otoya has a pretty simple tech. So all I have to do is, let's just say I'm starting as a center field. I'm going to pass the ball to the other team, and then I'm going to stealthy steps and run into them. This is going to ragdoll them and then give me the ball for myself. I will say one thing that everybody should take note of is the fact that you should generally do this while you're up close, like right here, so you can't react to it. Because if I give him the ball from too far away and then I stealthy steps, he's going to be able to react to it and he's going to break my ankles. So I'll definitely be careful with this, and I definitely recommend you guys abuse this, because if you do this properly, it's unreactable and they can barely do anything. Alright, now we're on to Bachira, and this deck is pretty simple. So let's say Ram is trying to defend me. What I'll do is I'll flick it over him, and then I can seal. And as you guys can see right there, while I'm stealing, I just immediately get the ball. I will say I'm like 90% sure if you mess this up and somebody else intercept the ball, if they know what you're gonna do, they can dribble. But most people in public servers, they aren't know what you're gonna... Okay, so for Gagamaru, I don't really play goalkeeper, so I'm not gonna lie, the tip might be ass. But with diving header, something I did find is you can double header, and then diving header, and I literally just leap over him. So if you're playing Gagamaru as a striker, then you can do this. As a goalkeeper, I literally never touch goalkeepers. So if anybody does actually play GK, comment below and I will pin your tip, because like, yeah, I do not be playing Gagamaru, bro. But like, this is still a pretty solid tip. The thing that you need to make sure not to do is look up. Make sure you're doing this while looking down. If you're looking up, the ball might go too far. If you're looking too like straightforward, you still might not land with it. So I'll definitely recommend just looking down. And finally, make sure to actually flick the ball over the enemy, because if you don't flick it over the enemy, as you guys can see right there, I was kind of like too far away from the ball, and like he has a very good chance of stealing it from me. All right, now we're on to Hiori, and Hiori's tip is related to his ultimate, so let me go ahead and pop this. Alright, so I'm going to pass the ball to Anti, and Tepis is actually going to be able to intercept this because the ball like randomly swerves around. So let me go ahead and do that. Oh, it worked.
Yeah.
Okay. That took us a few tries, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this isn't fully consistent, but like, it's just good to keep in mind that this can happen. Like, if there's one person and you have like 30 enemy team members all beside them, and you shoot a far pass, specifically far, there's a very good chance that they're gonna be able to intercept it. So like, if I did this close range, it wouldn't be possible. So the pass is still pretty comp. However, like if I'm shooting this from like all the way near my GK's net to their GK's net and your teammate is surrounded, I would not recommend doing this. So just be careful when you're using this. Alright, the next shot we got is the Nagi shot tech, and this is only really good against player goalkeepers. Against the AI, I wouldn't recommend doing this, but it's pretty simple. You just dash, trap, and then you shoot, and as you guys can see, the ball like goes from the complete different side, so it's almost like unpredictable. The best distance to do this from is like around here, so dash, trap, and then shoot. The AI obviously saves it, but like if it's like a player goalkeeper, most of the time they're not going to react to it. Like, this is actually a really comp tech, and I would definitely recommend you guys learn this. All right, now we're on to the boy Karasu, and I'm not going to lie, bro, this is just a copy and paste from Otoya. So Ram, come here, pass it to them, you crow steal, and unlike Otoya, this actually gives you some extra time. So like, as you guys can see there, we started off at like this square and we ended off like right beside the net, and from here I can just take a shot and I can score right there. I'm actually really happy I missed. I thought that would be a crossfire, bro. Yeah, Karasu, this is really comp, and I would definitely recommend you guys use it. Unlike Otoya, I will say this is somewhat predictable, and Even though this is pretty fast, sometimes people can react to it because Karasu, I believe, does have a slightly faster windup than Otoya. It's not super noticeable, but it's just something you guys should keep in mind. Similar to Otoya as well, Karasu also has his own version of this, where you basically just Chigiri dash. Like, there's no reason to even pick up Chigiri, bro. You just get a free Chigiri dash on Karasu. That might be cap, like, Chigiri's dash is so much better than this, but it is still another tip. I just want to add this in here. All right, now we're on to the boy Rail, and I'm not gonna lie, bro, I can't really give you any tips for Rail. Like, his entire gimmick is just copying people. What I will say is to make sure you you know, cycle through your offensive and defensive mode, just because these two modes are very essential for Rail. Like, if I'm defending, you know, I'm obviously going to be on defense mode. If I'm attacking, I'm going to be on offense mode. So, like, just pay attention to this and you should be pretty straight. Okay, so I had to re-record this because apparently I didn't record Borrow. This one is super simple. So pretty much with Borrow, you can do like a sort of fake shot. So if I'm looking in this direction, I start shooting, and then I look in this direction, my shot's gonna go there. I kind of messed this up, but this is pretty self-explanatory. I would recommend doing this mainly against player GKs, because against like the AI, there's no real reason to do this, right? But yeah, like if you're playing against a player goalkeeper that's really good, you don't know how to beat them, this is a great option, and a lot of the times people will get confused and fall for this. All right, now we're on to Aiku. Ignore my Bachira cosplay, I have to change accounts again, but pretty much it's pretty simple to use Aiku. I'm not gonna lie, he's very straightforward. However, something that a lot of people make a mistake with on Aiku is the fact they don't dribble bait. So essentially what dribble baiting is I just make my opponent think that I'm gonna tackle him, and then he wastes his dribble, so anti-waste a dribble. And then I TP, and then I slide, and I basically just get it for free. Obviously, you can also just do the same thing with charge. And this is just really good because a lot of the times with forced defense, if I were to like, if he has his dribble and I force defense, he can just ankle break me right there and I can't really do anything about it. So if I know he's wasted his dribble, then I can force defense and then just get a free ball. That's like the best way to use Aiku, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so I'm in the lobby right now, guys, and I'm gonna be giving you guys a tip for Yukimiya. So a lot of people don't know this, but Gale Burst actually is not working right now. Your stamina does not regen right now. Another YouTuber actually made a video on this. So currently this is broken, but when it gets fixed and your stamina regen actually works properly, this is going to be the best flow for Yukimiya. And that is because every single time you use Yukimiya, you lose like literally half your stamina bar. Like as you guys can see here, like I am losing so much stamina, and like, hold up, let me even regen my stamina again. Like, so I'm going to freestyle pass Rom, and then I'm going to use lethal touch. Boom, I have like a quarter of my stamina left. So having quicker stamina regeneration is actually really going to be super clutch for Yukimiya. So I would definitely recommend picking up Gilbert's flow. Obviously, currently, I'm not going to lie, obviously, you know, cold ankle breaker, by the way. Oh my god, I cooked you, bro. When Gilburst is actually fixed, you guys should run this. All right, now we're on to Sai, and I have two tips for you guys with Sai, because I'm not gonna lie, Sai isn't really that hard to use. So I've decided to just give you guys 2 minute skill tips. I'm not gonna lie, that shit is kind of cold, bro. But anyways, right, the tip with Sai is pretty basic. This reminds me of a certain game, bro. I'm gonna be honest, that's like the same thing that Sai did in the freaking anime. Like, can't hate on them too much for it. But anyways, the main tip I have really with Sai is heel flick. When I heel flick, as you guys can see there, the ball will not always be with me, and I feel like this is a mistake Sai players do quite often. So when you heel flick, you kind of want to move with the ball, and also be careful, make sure there's no enemies around you, because somebody could very easily intercept your heel flick, and then you might be cooked. Aside from that, the next tip I really have with Sai is, similarly to Hiori, your perfect pass can actually get intercepted, so be careful with that. I've seen Sais do this a ton of times in public lobbies where they try and perfect pass and somebody just walks in front of it and gets the ball for free. I can't demonstrate it here because it's only just me and Auntie right now, but like you guys saw it in the Hiori section. If Hiori's ultimate can get intercepted, Sai's perfect pass can definitely get intercepted. Alright, now we're on to Rin, and ignore the fact that I'm on a different account. I had to spend every single lucky spin I had on my main account, and I still didn't roll Rin. I had like 200 lucky spins, bro. But anyways, right, so 2 things with Rin. First off, I don't know if you guys noticed, I might be bugging here, but I'm like 90% sure they changed the way Rin's curve shot works. I haven't used him in a minute, so if you guys haven't used Rin in a minute, then I would definitely recommend you guys pick this part up. So like, if I'm looking left here, right, my curve shot's actually going to be going in the left direction. Before, when I look left, my curve shot goes right. So now when I look right, my curve shot's going to be right. And whenever I look left, my curve shot's going to be left, if that makes sense. That's really important to take note of. But aside from that, I also want to give you guys another tip, just because I feel like this isn't really that good of a tip for people that consistently play Rin. Secondly, I would highly recommend that you guys actually shoot low instead of high with curve shot, specifically against good player goalkeepers. Generally, as a Rin player, obviously you want to aim for top bin, just because that's where like your instinct tells you to aim. Or at least for me, whenever I'm on Rin, I always aim for top bin. But whenever you're playing against a good GK that can predict that and also likes to jump a lot, you can really fake them out. If I were to genuinely take a Rin shot, I would be looking in this angle. You just look in this angle instead, aim like that, and it'll go low. They generally are gonna jump, and it's just gonna go below their feet, like with the AI here. All right, the next ability we got is Shidou, and this is a pretty basic one. I've seen a ton of people do this, but I've also seen a ton of people not do this. This is specifically against player GKs, because against the AI, you don't really need to do this. But a really good shooting tech with Shidou is similar to the Baro one, where you literally turn the other direction and like move your character around like this, and then you shoot. So for example, as you guys can see here, I'm looking there, my aim is pretty atrocious, so this is somewhat difficult to aim. Anyways, against the AI, I don't need to do this, because you know, I could just shoot it there and it's a go. But against players, I would definitely recommend doing this. A really good advice that I have for you guys is to like aim somewhat low, because as you guys saw earlier, I did kind of shoot it very low. Aim like around this distance. You can even look a bit lower, but this shot does have quite a bit of power. So like if I aimed higher from here, it's probably gonna like, you know, go over. So I would definitely recommend like aiming like around where I'm looking right now, and you should be able to get pretty free goals. Also, something important to note is Dragon Drive's version of this got nerfed. So like if I try and like, let's say Dragon Drive and I turn, like it doesn't really work. You can't do it with Dragon Drive anymore. You used to be able to do it and it was really overpowered, but naturally did get nerfed. So yeah. All right, now we're on to Kunigami, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't really think of much tips for Kunigami just because this style is pretty brain dead. But like something really important you guys should note of is when you are using body block, make sure that you use it in a group of people so that you can get past more people. Just because unlike a lot of other dribble styles, body block does somewhat affect other people when they're in the AoE. It doesn't fully stun them, but it's so fast that most people just can't react to it. So like right here, if I were to do body block like that, I would get past them and they would not be able to react to me. If I used like size magic turn and they were in the same position, second defender would have enough time to react to me and actually guard me. With body block, they can't do that. So I would generally recommend body blocking while the enemy team is grouped up.